On today's Minute of the Apes, Todd needs to learn the power of saying no because his holes are constantly getting beaten or something like that.
Or filled.
Oh, that's it.
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd, sitting silently with his coiffed hair flowing in the breeze is Richard to my right, and Sean.
I'm wearing my first beanie by magician Chris Ramsey.
Oh.
You can get your own at first.shop.
And we were talking...
Promo code Sean Jackson.
At the top of it, Sean's mentioning that I tell the guys that I am the king of overextending myself.
He
love
says yes to everything.
I do, and
Except
I
for playing Xbox, goddammit.
Well, and that's part of it is that, Sean will ask, can we play Xbox? And I don't play it as much anymore because, and this is another thing I haven't told you about. So the guy I wrote this with, we're considering making a podcast called Jeff and Todd Make a Movie to talk about the trials and tribulations of trying to put this together. Because there's really nothing out there that says you start here and you end up there, right? Mm-hmm. So it's another project, and how do you say no? So while you had stepped away to go potty, I'm sorry to tell it that Richard does go to the potty.
Richard has a bladder?
He does have one, so he stepped away to go potty.
He's not like a Ken doll down there, just smooth.
Oh, he's smooth.
Dear Lord. Wow. Manscaped.com.
But
promo code Richard.
Sean was saying that he tells his wife this as well, and I am the king of this, that I don't usually say no. If I can find a way to either help someone or do something, I want to fill my life with as many opportunities, except that I tell the guys I've taken some time off with music because you know what? Sean told me it's okay to say no. There's a power in saying no.
Yeah, set those boundaries.
Set your boundaries, my friends. And with that, let's set a boundary that gets us towards the end of this week. This is minute 49, Sean.
All right, we're going to start minute 49 with Estella Warren reacting a scene from Jaws, and ends with Davidson opening a scanner, a midichlorian scanner.
Oh, good Lord. Let's quote one of my favorite movies and one of my least favorites. Let's see how this plays together in minute 49. Marky Mark, swimming through the Planet of the Apes.
I thought you guys were afraid of water. You dead monkey. Apes. Apes down the bottom.
Someone else knows you're here.
As of minute 49, we have an Oberon's worth of apes and humans, 2 displaced pods worth of humans and apes, wild humans, Ape City, minus 2 gorillas, and humans on the loose.
All right, we have back underwater shots of Estella swimming through, and as she swims through some vegetation, an ape pops up in front of her. That'd be a gorilla. His ghostly dead eyes. She swims away in fear and terror as she does relive a bit of, oh my God, why am I forgetting Richard Dreyfuss's character's name in Jaws?
Bird?
Matt Hooper. Matt Hooper coming upon the severed head of the fisherman in the boat. That's kind of recreating that. Marky Mark swims from the pod past the gorilla, getting her because all women need men help to swim and help them.
Need a man's help, yes.
She's not a strong enough woman on her own.
That's a good point.
They come up to the surface and I'll call it here. They edit this point the water very well, up and out, and they get up there, they swim out, they leap up into the thing. It's very quick, efficient, as we see them talk while Leo begins going through whatever this pouch is that he brought up. Ari helps him, touching some stuff. He all but swats her hand away. And then he puts a gun in the back of his pants, because we all put a gun in the back of our pants.
By the way, he's not wearing any underwear.
No, he's not. We do see his little tuchus a little bit, don't
You
we?
see his funky bunch?
Yeah, even the next minute, Mike, he's still not wearing underwear. He bends over like, I'm looking for, like, he's literally like, never mind.
And then we see him open what I'm going to call an ape tricorder. And only ape, because this is ape movies. I know it's human, but he has a tricorder of sorts. That's where we are. So let's talk about the ape down there. And someone help me remember, because we did record the opening run from the water a long time ago. Did he throw an ape in the water?
I was about to say. So
where did that ape come from?
I'm assuming these are the 2 apes that he killed earlier.
I guess. And did he throw them in the water?
One of my last notes is Thade must have been a boss tosser and got them all the way into the middle. I mean, he had to toss them all the way.
That's
out
right.
there.
I forgot about that. That's who it was.
He killed those 2.
You're right. I remember that.
They'd killed the 2 apes that showed him the discovery. We did not see him toss them in the water. The whole setup in the last minute where she's talking about apes can't swim was just to conveniently set up the fact that there are 2 dead apes in the water. That's the only way that he got.
I was about to say, is this a Thade pattern of him killing people and throwing them in the water and nobody ever finds them because no apes go swimming?
But again, he didn't. They don't even say
put the bodies in the water, dispose of the bodies. It should be something.
Well, Thade's the only one that knows about this. He killed those 2 guards.
True.
He disposed of the bodies. He did that.
Although
when I saw them come up, I went, "Oh, they look like they're sleeping."
With their ghostly eyes.
Yes.
There's just the Ari's last minute explanation about apes not swimming and apes not being able to go into deep water was way too convenient.
Completely.
For this moment to have these apes down here. Now we're having to make a logic jump that this is how Thade disposed of 2 bodies, because we never see him dispose of the 2 bodies. And then they don't even have the conversation in this minute about those apes. Those apes could not have been down there without, like, they don't. We're just supposed to assume, like,
who put those?
Ari doesn't go. How did they get there?
What did they kill them with? Didn't he have some?
He beat them on their backs.
He pulled those 2 little crow-looking things off of and stabbed them with it.
Shouldn't one of these apes? And are there 2? He says a couple, but
I'm assuming you see one pop up in front of her, and you see one kind of floated.
The one that pops up, that's definitely on a rope because it stops so suddenly.
But then why does the one float downward? That one comes up, but this one down.
I think that's why they're trying to say there are 2 of them.
Shouldn't one of them have that coral thing
so
buried
we can
in?
Connect back to it? Yeah.
And there's nothing, and that's why. That's why all these weeks later, I was confused when I watched. I was like, where did these apes come from? But as you say that, you're right. That's what they are. But you need to visually tie that together so I know.
They need to stand out a little more. Like Thade should have crushed one of their heads in, like so you see the indented skull of one, so you know that's definitely one that Thade killed. But so the only reason Estelle Warren jumped in the water was so she could see these corpses. Could they not have cut that out, had more tension where Davidson is still underwater, and now we're at this point 2 minutes in.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Build that thing if he's underwater.
He can come and see the corpses and get freaked out by them and then come shooting out of the water.
But no, because a man is never freaked out. A woman is completely freaked out when they see things.
Well, yeah, we've had a woman, the female ape, freak out at the water, and now we have the female human freak out at the underwater corpses. And this is one shot where you can really tell underwater is a tank. Pretty clear water. They come up and it's brown. The surface is brown.
Yeah.
Those are 2 different.
And there are no beams of light
coming through.
We see beams of light within there, So
in the water, yeah.
So above that tank, they are literally putting some 5K lights right on it to create that shaft of light. There's no lighting source that hits the water like that.
and the outside of the water.
You wanted to say something.
Sorry, Richard.
My despite including everything that you guys just mentioned, Leo is such a block of wood that he has to say there are 2 dead monkeys down. Apes. Like, why? What kind of idiot?
Again, he works with apes all the time.
I know, and
he never call.
And we have to get the silverback kind of reacting to him having to switch this. It was weird.
If he had been calling them monkeys in the beginning of the movie, if that would pay off more here. Like, he could have been chastised by one of the workers he's with. Like, these monkeys, we're never going to figure out the sequence so they don't cry. Not monkeys, apes. I know they're apes, but when they act like this, they're monkeys and me.
He continues to be careless and cavalier about everything that's going on, and that line just kind of drives that even more. What I don't understand is why the silverback would say, someone else knows about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do we assume that?
You have 2 dead apes down at the bottom of the water. So the silverback is making an assumption that these 2 apes had been killed, covering up something that he did. How does the silverback know that he didn't kill the 2 apes? That Davidson didn't?
True.
Like, I don't. There's some logic stuff happening here that makes no sense.
We have a word called coincidence for a reason. There could just be 2 dead apes in there because they drowned because they shouldn't be swimming. They were playing in the water or whatever.
Wouldn't it be interesting, though, if since they've been underwater, if fish had picked at their face and they looked like they'd been there a while? Because all we get of them being dead is that milky eye.
Yeah, the milky eyes.
The kind of a bloated milky eye. It just they're Ari and the silverback are not nearly as bothered by the fact that there are 2 dead apes down there than they should be.
Right.
And again, we spent more time underwater. We could have had more time doing a conversation, recognizing their impending danger that's about to happen.
If the silverback had said, somebody else knows you're here, I see signs of a scuffle, there's blood right here, they didn't die in the water. If he had pointed out, I see, maybe you see some broken armor along the shoreline or something like that, so that you know that something happened, or we know what happened, but they can figure out that there was a scuffle.
Shouldn't Ari and Silverback also be terrified? I mean, by the way, you're going to get blamed for this. Someone else knows you're here.
Well, let's also talk about we've talked about too that you have mini scenes within scenes, and they're little mini stories. They're not meant to do anything except sort of propel information and knowledge. Silverback should have been away from the water, seeing something that drew his attention, that he saw your scuffle, blood and all that, and he's looking at it. That would build in additional time while Marky Mark's beneath it, and she's looking, and she's like, "What are you looking at?" He's like, "There's a scuffle here.
Somebody's been here." Yeah,
someone else knows about you. Would make sense if he's
layers
looking
of
at something
tension
else.
that due to that. Then when she's like, "How long can they stay down there?" You're building something where you're distracting your audience is what you're doing, but you're doing it to build tension. There's none. I will give you that when the gorilla pops up out in the water to Estella, it has that same almost fright, like the Jaws moment when the fisherman's head comes out of the boat. But it's, again, I don't know why he's under this water. I don't know why she followed him. I don't know who these apes are. You're not telling me a story other than you're building conditions that simply give moments.
Mark or Leo coming out of the water, Silverback offering to him, someone else knows you're here. Marky replying, well, there are 2 dead apes down there. And then Ari grabbing Silverback's arm would have told me a little bit more about this moment. Just inverting one thing and having one little moment would have changed this, rather than him being rude and Silverback just throwing this line out there like, they're not in jeopardy as well.
Right.
Did you not kill them yourself? Who put them down there?
Did you kill them?
Something, yeah.
Or it's proof that he saw the scuffle that's here is like, I knew that something was going on. Anything like that. But to the monkey line, if you, I assume what they're trying to do is to show us the racist type nature of calling it an ape and monkey.
Yeah.
If you have a character in a true film about racism, whether that be that they're anti-Semitic or they use the N-word or whatever, that character is most likely going to continue to operate within that until they are 100% given a reason not to. If they're going to learn their lesson according to what society says it should be. In this moment, I think if anything, he doesn't like that Silverback. When Leo says it, he should look at him and go, there are 2 dead monkeys down there. Like, he's almost pushing home that he's doing it instead of being like, apes.
Sorry.
Yeah, no shit, you dumb moron. But that is, again, where Mark Wahlberg, I love him in Boogie Nights, and he has some nuance within that performance, but there's nothing here. He just says that line, 2 dead monkeys, apes. He puts the pause on delivering the ape, where it should almost be the pause is to monkey, where he's digging at the guy more. It's not interesting. You're not telling me anything about the ideas of racism through the usage of changing the aspect of looking at the world. You're not. This is not telling. The first film 100% did tackled those issues. This one, it's like they feel like they have to.
Okay.
So he pulls the pack open.
Yep.
Right.
That's what she said.
He's fishing around for something. Ari reaches over and pulls towards the handle of something that clearly looks like a gun.
And so, which I don't mind because that's Ari being inquisitive, a little
and it's
curious.
a very silver thing that draws your attention. Shiny.
She wants to grab something shiny.
And he bats her away from it, which
That's what she said too.
He bats her away from which I get. Then he grabs the gun, sticks it in his back pocket, and opens up the tricorder thing while he's continuing to let her fish through the pack. I probably would have pulled the pack away from her.
The whole thing?
The
Yeah.
whole thing. I wouldn't have had it open for her to kind of explore too.
Also, that pack, I'm guessing, is emergency supplies. So why is he only taking 2 things out of it? Why not keep the whole pack? Yeah.
Take the gun out,
right?
Because we need to know you have a gun. You've visually told me that, but then
close the pack and grab it.
Take your tricorder too and close the pack and give it to her. Now it's safe. You can look through anything you want in here because it's the proof that I was talking about. I have tools that you won't understand. Man,
is it me or when he pulls the? Richard, I want you to pull it up on your computer so we can look at them side by side. But the scanner that he pulls out of the pack does not look like the scanner he has at the end. All right, so
where he pulls the side. Hang on. Okay.
So this is, and they never do a clear shot of it, but this is the scanner.
Oh, it does
in the pack. See that? It almost looks silver. And look how you see notches, like there's a ring that has notches that's very large on the outside. But when he actually pulls it out, that ring is in the middle, and there's 2 sides to it that open up. If that makes sense.
It does look similar in that it's a teardrop shape. There's a circle at the top, but on the original one there are dots instead of slots.
Yeah, so it looks like this one's almost more silver, and that one's a little more black. Then it looks like 2 different props.
Do you know what that says to me? They were not done with the prop yet, and that's an insert shot that they've done later. You know, and it's very much a tricorder type thing. Like I said, he opens it up, the little screen comes to life. We don't know yet what it's going to tell us.
Yeah.
But here's what I also don't understand. He was diving beneath the water to get things to show them. That's at least what they've kind of told us. He doesn't really show anybody anything. He takes the gun, hides it away, and swats her away from it, and then takes the tricorder and engages it.
Again, he's not offered to help them. He doesn't. He's
not telling
He doesn't
him
know why they're there. He just wants to get in contact with the ship. He wants to leave. Well, I mean, we'll find that out.
Oh, is that what he's doing? He's getting in contact with the ship?
Oh, sorry.
Well, he's playing the pronoun game of
I'm jumping.
You kick me in the balls about that when I do that. I saw it and I was like, gotta do it.
I gotta get him on it.
Yeah, but yeah, he just
you got me.
He just playing the Cinema Sins pronoun game of I'm going to show you something but not tell you what it is when I can easily tell you what it is. It's just cinematic.
But beneath that water, I have things that will amaze you. It'll
change how you see the world.
I just need to go get them.
Yeah.
But instead, it's but again, he pulls it up and he doesn't show people shit.
Wait, what's the line? I have something. I will show you something that will change your world. Whatever he said last week to her.
All right. Well, that is minute 49. Let's put this one to bed so we can come back and do minute 50. I think I actually have a new drive now. Let's finish this film so we can get back to a good one.
There you go.
And I watched that the other day on TV, and I really did watch it thinking, I was working, and it came on, and I thought, okay, I'm going to leave it on while I work, and I just want to make sure that I'm not fooling myself.
Oh, this one? The Rise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is such a solid movie. I'm not,
we'll find holes somehow,
Yeah, there'll be holes in them, but it's so solid, even with its logic to the end and the final credit sequence and all these kind of things is so solid. Man.
Sorry.
So we got to push. We in fact, what I want to start doing, we try sometimes to do a couple weeks at a time, but because of the holiday season, we're only doing one at a time right now. When we come back, I want to do 10 at a time so that we can just get it done.
We'll just finish the whole movie.
That's right. And we are so exhausted by the end of the film. We just
we'll just order some pizzas and get some adult diapers. And...
I already have those. Sean.
Wow.
Hang on. In fact,
there you go.
Thank you very much.
Oh man,
I'm soaking in it.
Quoting that Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, that moment when Steve Martin at the table, yes, Rupert, can I go to the bathroom? Of course. And he just and does the piss shiver and goes, "Thank you very much." That's still one of my favorite moments in film history. We had in the add in the fun thing at there. Oh my god, I can't talk. We had to add in the fun thing at the end so that you guys actually know we love movies. That's why we do this every day. Everyone, come back tomorrow. We'll finish out the week with one more minute. Until then, everyone have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.